Alright, we're just about ready to get started with our next run, which we want to give a couple of shout outs to some of the donations that have come in here. We have a $200 donation from Dragoon Zero. That's going towards the Zelda 1 randomizer consternation flag set, which means that goal has been met. So we're going to see that special flag set coming up when Skybills does Zelda 1 randomizer a little bit later this afternoon. $50 donation from GW Magus, saying, trying to give back to the SpeedGaming group of channels for all the quality content. Well, thank you. We really appreciate it. We enjoy putting out quality content, and we especially enjoy being able to do something for a good cause, because this is definitely one of the most important things we can do right now in the world, and I'm really glad to see everyone getting behind this idea. $20 donation from Anonymous. That's going towards tomorrow's Super Mario Maker 2 Troll bonus level. I don't even know what that is, what the level is, but Trenton has promised that it is going to be a very trolly level that he's going to try his best at. Haven't seen the level yet, but given that all the levels that he's going to play are pretty trolly, I think it's going to be safe to say that the special bonus level will be extra trolly. $25 donation from Tyler Salt, saying, good luck, have fun to the runners, and thanks to SpeedGaming for a great fundraiser, putting my donation towards Secret of Mana hand cam, and for the sprite's name to be BLM. Alright, sounds good, thank you. $5 donation from Warrior of Mars, saying, $5 donation train. Come on, folks, let's crush that goal for charity. Yeah, we should start a $5 donation train. Let's get the train running. $20 donation from the Shadow Owl, which is going towards the Super Mario Bros. 1 any % bonus race. That's going to be coming up after the glitchless race later this afternoon, a couple runs from now. Another donation also going towards that same goal there, $20 from Bloodstream, saying, don't have kids, don't want kids now, but kids need to eat, so take my money, gotta feed them all. Alright, fair enough. $10 donation from Anonymous, a $20 donation from Sam-I-Am going towards the Final Fight 2 Expert Mode upgrade of the category, so that'll be really cool to see that get met. I like Final Fight 2. And coming up right after this next run is going to be Faxanadu. We have a $20 donation from Anonymous to make Faxanadu a dagger %. Now remember, during the Guardian Legend, we are taking donations to upgrade the following run from Shiner, Faxanadu, up to dagger %. So if you want to give them the extra challenge, feel free to. Also a $20 donation from Mind of Me, saying, so thrilled to donate to No Kid Hungry, and best of luck to all the runners in the marathon. And that $20 is going towards the SMB1 any % bonus race. $25 from Gordon Ream, saying, best of luck with the event. $5 from Dimensive, saying, let's go. Good luck to the runners, and thanks to everyone for putting this on. Alright, looks like we're caught up. We're going to switch over to the run and get this thing going.
Save me a couple seconds. So every corridor I have to go into these 10 corridors to complete the game, and all of them have a little mini puzzle to open them. And that one you just attack the gate, and it'll open. Oh yeah, every couple points you get a level up. At 30,000 points there, I gained an extra point of shield and got a health and chip refill. Yeah, the chip count on the HUD there is just your ammo system for your secondary weapons, but how many you have at the moment also determines what your basic shot looks like. Like I have this 3-way spread. It's not any stronger, but the projectiles move a little faster. When I get to 200, I'll be able to have a wider shot spread. I might go above 1600 just for safety, and then I'll get the widest shot of all. So I am running any %. I think.
Shiner, can you hear me?
Well,
by the way,
a couple of years ago, more people were running 100%.
Test. Can you hear me?
People were a little bit afraid of any % because of how you don't get more power-ups, obviously. But This game is made by Compile, the recurring blue lander character, that round creature. There's a couple of red landers in this game too, but their blue lander appeared in their other puzzle games, I believe. I believe it was the inspiration for Puyo Puyo, actually. So yeah, I'm just showing how hard the Guardian Legend is here. I'm just holding the B button. A lot of people, like most people who run this game, instead of going to the south immediately, like I did, they'll go one room to the east and pick up a rapid fire upgrade. It'll increase like the natural rapid fire if I'm just holding the B button, so I don't have to mash everywhere. But I mean, look how much I'm mashing after Corridor 0. I'm trying to say that you really don't need that rapid fire power up. I don't even need to use my Saber. This is only Corridor 1. It's not very dangerous. Huh? Oh, just checking chat here. It looks like I jumped the gun a little bit. Small screen. I'll look into... Oh, right. Should probably have my phones back on here. That was the first boss, Fleepa. I'm gonna press select again. Okay. There we go, got my headset back on. I forgot I need to listen to more than just my console. My apologies, I just woke up. Alright, so I gotta make a little detour over here. There's a couple of these mini-boss encounters on the world map. Oh, nice, I got the quick exit. So after you beat a mini-boss, there's this little, like fanfare that plays a couple seconds later. And if you touch the boundary of a screen, the game will, like, you know, freeze and wait to finish playing it. But I managed to reach the edge before that sound started playing, so that saved me 2 seconds right there. Oh. And it's possible to do quick weapon changes by pressing like start and holding the direction you plan to go in, or you select direction, start. It's weird timing. So this fireball weapon does really good damage to a point, though. The damage formulas in this game are a little weird. You can do some really big numbers with some weapons. But bosses, like anything that makes that kind of sound, damage is capped at 5. But 5 is still more damage than I can do with anything I have. Like my basic shots are only going to do 1 damage. The Saber does your attack stat times 2, so I can only do 2 damage with that. The Fireball starts at 16 damage, I think. Oh, I started early. Let's see. Can I ask how much did people get to see? Because I'm fine with starting over, although I think we're a little behind schedule already, so maybe I shouldn't. There we go. Sometimes I do it too fast. Because in Fazanadu I claw the controller as well and have to hit select and start sometimes. Alright, so I got a attack stat upgrade from that blue crab, so now my basic shots do 2 damage. And there's our rapid fire power-up, so I don't have to mash the B button anymore. Oh yeah, the cover art for this game is pretty wild. It's probably because of how risque the main character's outfit is. Check it out next time I have to walk down. Or I guess I can pose like that. Frame by frame. I guess this game is like the beginning of Concolé and Azur Lane and all these boatmobile waifu games that are popular now. Even back in the 80s we had the... It's a cute girl, but it's also a vehicle. This is the beginning of that whole archetype, I guess. Only missed the first 2 minutes. Well, that's still a lot. It means we missed all of Corridor Zero. I was explaining, yeah, the Guardian Legend is a hybrid shmup adventure game. So we have these vertical scrolling space shooter sections mixed with a top-down maze exploring game looking for power-ups. But because this is any percent, there isn't going to be very much exploring. And I was I was explaining something interesting. You can control this game with controller 2. So I hold both controllers at the same time in the Chippendale grip, like the other controller underneath and upside down, so I can press both B buttons at once by forming a claw shape with my thumb and forefinger. Just wiggling my hand up and down. So I can hit the B button on the top controller, and then when I let go of that, I press and move my claw up. I'm pressing the B button on the other side and letting go of the B button on top. Thereby, I'm able to rapid fire twice as fast as I normally could. At least that's how it's supposed to work. You know, it could end up being more sloppy than that. It could end up that I press the other B button without fully letting go of the other one first, right? So I'm still holding the select button here, by the way, to get this transformation cutscene skip. Yeah, I realize it's kind of unfortunate. I'm skipping all the transformation cutscenes. It's a big deal. How can we prove that we're a boatmobile waifu otherwise? Yeah, there's a lot of eyeballs in this game. Alright, so again we're going to use the Fireball. It's the best damage I have. I could use the Saber, but the Saber's going to do 4 damage. Fireball's going to do 5. And it's still a pretty good weapon versus this crayfish enemy. Okay. How about after the run's over, I'll just do Corridor... I'll just, like, hit reset and I'll do Corridor 0 again. Just so we can see the entire game. I kind of forgot where to go for a moment there. So yeah, I've been doing speedruns for a long time. I go all the way back to the Speed Demos archive days when bandwidth on the internet was less plentiful, less cheap as it was now. And things were different. YouTube wasn't even a glimmer in anybody's eye back in 2007. You had to submit your run to Speed Demos archive, and it would be watched by multiple verifiers who were not only making sure that there was no cheating in the run, but also were in charge of determining, is this replay entertaining enough for us to bother uploading it to our website and manually writing about it, and we have to upload it and curate it, and then everyone who wants to watch it will have to download it. Later they added a Flash player to like stream it off their website. But yeah, so if there's a glaring mistake in your run, you wouldn't want to upload it because the verifiers might reject it. You might be rejected as a human. No, that's not how that works, but yeah, the standards for speedrunning were different then. So the culture back then was that no one even talked about speedrunning shmups because, you know, everyone just kind of thought, well, why would the verifiers accept that? The game is mostly forced scrolling. Usually people play games like this for score, not for speed. And for sure, like, there's respect for super play type of people. That's actually, shmups are actually how I got into hardcore gaming. Ikaruga, when that came out for the GameCube in 2001, was when I was like, oh, this is it, I can upload my scores to the leaderboard and prove what a god gamer I am. And then after I got pretty good at Ikaruga, I started looking backwards in gaming history, like, I wonder what kind of shmups are on the NES. Well, I already knew about the Guardian Legend, that was, like, always a childhood favorite, but then from there I discovered the Gradius games and Life Force, and probably got my first taste of internet fame from uploading this no-death run of Life Force for NES with my after-the-fact audio commentary. Biscuit used to host it on his TAS website before TASvideos.org was the bigger TAS website. But yeah, even though there's a lot of forced scrolling in this game, we're still trying to play it for speed. The way to do that is to avoid slowdown. And kill the bosses quickly, and skip as many power-ups as you can get away with. I love the request to show her turning into a ship. Okay, fine, I'll let it happen for one of these. Okay, no shields left. At least I have a smaller hurt box now, but now I have to play really top-notch. The blue thing here is everyone's worst nightmare in the speedrun, for sure. Ooh, it happened! It happened! I got owned by the Fast Vine. Maybe I shouldn't be so greedy at the very beginning. Alright, we get to reset and see Corridor 0 again. So yeah, just to sort of continue with my SDA story, though, Twitch was a big deal for speedrunning culture, because we went from, should I submit a single segment run or a segmented run? But segmented doesn't really work on Twitch. I guess you could like see someone work on their segmented run, but I think the generally accepted format now is people just grind single segment, or RTA, as it's sometimes called. Just grind that all day. And you can see all the attempts being made. And I think that's great, because a lot of art that we see is very highly produced, like an extremely refined finished product, and it's not often we get insight into its creation. And I think it's important to be able to see that. I saw someone on Twitter, like, all you artists who have worked with me and are not speaking up, I'm gonna leak your dry vocal stems. And that's a funny joke to me, because as a musician, like, I know what that's like. To, like, listen to a dry recording of my voice and go, wow, that sounds so stupid, I can't believe I sound like that. And then you gotta drench it in effects to be okay with it. Kind of the same thing with the speedrunning on Twitch. You can see everybody's runs who go into the red, or if they make a mistake, they have to keep going. If there's hope of salvaging a PB. You see just how many times people reset, and just how immortal even the godliest of god gamers truly are. It's important to remember that we're only human. As much as I like to characterize myself as a task bot, that's just not what I am. Oh, I forgot. I was gonna watch the transformation cutscene. Okay, next time. Corridor 4, I'll let it rock then. Alright. Oh, I still got wrecked. Look how much damage those blue vines do. These small bubbles do an entire 1 shield of damage as well. And you really don't want to hug the wall, because that's how you get bad stuff happening. Okay, I'm down to 0 shield again. Fired way early there. Uh-oh. Oh, got pretty pinned down there! Actually, there's 2 different cutscenes. Here, we'll do the returning cutscene this time, then. Look at that! Legs! Legs out of nowhere, just like the Little Mermaid. Yeah, if you watch people run this game, there's a lot of runs that don't get past Corridor 3, just because of that boss fight. Schmitty Games is the only person to have found a reliable strat. Oops, there we go. So I'm gonna do this in a little bit of a strange order here. So we're gonna get this red lander to increase my chip count, and then I'm gonna fight this mini-boss, because I'm gonna death warp right after this, so doing this fight will take my health nice and low. Alright, and now we get to walk along the north wall. I'm gonna pass through this room on the way there, because I think it's slightly faster. This room is where the final corridor, Corridor 21, will be. Once I've completed Corridors 1 through 10, I'll be able to enter and finish the game. Some astute observers may have noticed that I walked past Corridor 11, and Corridor 12, and Corridor 13, but because we're running any percent, and don't need to get all the power-ups, we're not going to do these really long, force-scrolling shmup stages. Yeah, the Optimon cutter strat. I haven't even showed off the cutter sabers yet, so remember how there's the lightsaber that just makes that beam in front of me that chainsaws through anything really quickly? There's a Darth Maul version of that weapon that makes 2 sabers on the sides. And that's going to be our main weapon through most of the game, honestly. Coming up, I'll be getting my rank 2 cutter saber. Oh. There's this pixel you can walk on where like you walk straight up and grab the cutter saber from the side. I think I've wiggled to the right one too many times, though. Alright, and I gotta go back into this room a couple times. The way to open Corridor 4 is to ask the Blue Lander for help very persistently. I see you are trying very hard, so I will open the seal. I like tapping out my polyrhythms to the klaxon there. Alright, there we go, we got it. You can wiggle outside of the barrier like that, and I might as well do that since I have to wait for the little finish playing. Okay. Oh yeah, we're gonna rock this cutscene. Look at that. The legs turn into the wings. That looks a bit painful, actually. Look how good Attack 2 is. I don't even need to use my Saber. Oh, okay. So, this corridor scrolls pretty fast, but it's pretty relaxing for me, so I'll just let the action speak for itself, and just throw out a little reminder there for anybody who might be tuning in now. SpeedGaming channel is running this speedrun marathon for the next 5 days for the No Kid Hungry charity. There'll be donation incentives for some runs, including my next run. There is a donation incentive to upgrade my any percent run of Fazanadu to dagger percent. Normally in any percent, the main weapon we use for most of the game is the longsword. However, I have routed the game so that I can beat the game with the starting dagger instead. There's also a low percent category, but okay, we get to use these cutters here. Oh right, I should be trading. Oh, I didn't even get a 3-cycle. Okay. I had a bit too much shield left at the end, that's okay though. You're welcome, Proc9. I'm not sure how much we need to upgrade to dagger percent, but if the organizers give the say, then I'll be doing dagger percent. I was practicing it a bit last night. I actually added a whole bunch of new categories to the leaderboard on speedrun.com for Fazanadu. But for the most part, I'm the only person with any runs uploaded. One new category that got added was Aeolus password percent. Like, Aeolus is the first town in the game, so the rules of the category are you can enter any password you want as long as the start location is the very first town. So it's kind of like a New Game Plus category. You can just start fully geared out, all the quests already done, you can put all the keys you need in your inventory, and just charge straight to the end of the game. So I usually get this blue lander for safety here, because this next boss fight is a little spooky. Or it's a mini boss fight. This thing is called the Crystal Star, and it gives me a defense upgrade. The reason why are you getting defense upgrades in a speedrun? Well, first of all, this game is really hard without a sufficient amount of defense upgrades. But also when we get our 5th defense upgrade, our walk speed on the world map doubles. So that'll be important for saving a lot of time. Okay, that took a little bit longer. Alright, and to open Corridor 5, just gotta do that. There we go. Why am I holding select? Oh, I could have held select for this whole level, it's not that stressful. I've actually played another shmup by Compile. There's a really early Super NES release called Space Megaforce, or Super Aleste in Japan. And it's really similar to this game, where your craft has really high movement speed, and a really big hurt box, but also a lot of durability. And there's a lot of enemies on screen at all times. I believe that subgenre of shmup is called Manic Shmup. And I can kind of see why that was the design approach, just because of hardware at the time. You know, cave-style bullet hell shmups weren't really a thing until, like, arcade hardware was in the Naomi era of, like, the late 90s, I think. I think Dodonpachi is probably, like, the example of that version of shmups. Bullet Hell wouldn't work too well on the NES just because of sprite limitations. There's a pretty good game out there called, well, Rekka Summer Carnival 93. It wasn't, like, an official release or anything. I don't know, I had to go around the health power-up. Okay. Corridor 5 is really short. I wish I kept holding select. Yeah, the exploding spiders. Space Megaforce! Presented by Toro. Alright, time to death warp again. Hit the road once more. Ah, Tyrion. That's a name I haven't heard for a while, but... I mean, maybe the sound effects, like maybe the sound design is similar, but MS-DOS games usually use FM synthesis. Whereas this game, you know, uses the NES sound chip. Oops, I forgot to keep holding select. I was holding the wrong set of buttons. I know these volcanoes look scary, but with careful flying, they're not that bad. Oops, I'm causing slowdown. I'm trying to farm the volcanoes a little bit in order to control my score. I want to hit my 500,000 point level up during the Corridor 8 boss fight. Oh wait, my score is higher already because I did Corridor 3 twice. Also, the power-up drops in this game are on a sequence. They go, like, heart, red chip, blue chip, heart, heart, red chip, and then, I don't know the last two, but there's only 8 items in the sequence, and then it loops. You either get a battery or enemy erasers on the 8th one, though. Oh yeah, I never talked about enemy erasers. I know we have a couple thousand viewers, so I'll try to remember to give seizure warnings if I switch to my enemy erasers. Enemy erasers are a screen clear secondary weapon. Some enemies are immune to them. But, you know, I just press A, and the whole screen will turn white, and almost everything will get blown up. And you can also destroy the, like, smoke clouds of destroyed enemies, as well. Which means you can, like, force power-ups to drop really reliably if you get in trouble. Enemy erasers are on their own ammo system, though. They don't use chips. So I should have about 40 of them going into this. So I'm crashing into this satellite on purpose here because body checking with your shields does 1 damage, or I guess it does like an amount of damage equal to your attack rating. So that allows me to destroy it in 2 cycles instead of 3. Yeah, Summer Carnival, Rekka. It was, you know, it was never actually released. It was just like a prototype cart that was just trotted out at said Summer Carnival. Great game, though. Massive technical achievement for the NES. I've also seen a NES homebrew game called Blade Buster. It's a pretty impressive shmup for the NES. I like how a lot of the music in this game is recycled. I like when games do that. It really sculpts the mood. I don't know if I'd call Wreck a bullet hell, but there's a lot of bullets on screen. Oh, I missed the quick exit. Just barely. And there's my 5th defense upgrade. So I just got 2 defense upgrades in quick succession there. Now we're zooming. So just like in Xanadu, we gotta visit this screen 4 times to make something special happen. Gotta get better at those quick changes. I keep pressing the buttons too fast, to be honest. I'm not gonna claw the controller, though. I don't want to make my finger sore. Most people, like, hide in the corner for this corridor, but... no, that ain't me. Remember that this game is a shmup. Even though your hurt box is gigantic, you can still play it well, you know? Put some shmupping skill to use. Don't be afraid to ride the front of the screen. Oh yeah, these green things can't be destroyed by any weapons. You have to slam the craft into them. Also, this is, I'm sure people are noticing by how my regular shots just don't do anything anymore. This red area is a really big difficulty spike in the game. But luckily your weapon systems get a lot stronger around here as well to keep up. I got another enemy eraser drop during that corridor. That was nice. Yeah, there are rooms where some message log will tell you how to open each corridor, but you know we're just running any percent, and we already know how to open these corridors.
Can I jump in here and do some donations?
Go ahead, Feasel.
Awesome. Well, we have a $20 donation from Marshall Carper saying, I love to see gamers using pixels for good. Thank you for supporting a great cause. Thanks, Marshall. $10 donation from Anonymous. No comment. $20 donation from Muad'Dib saying, in honor of Topsy Turb, let's extend the Shaq Fu run just a bit. That's great. Yeah, I guess that's for cutscene percent, so we'll put that towards a cutscene percent there. That'll be a good one. And I'd like to point out, speaking of extending things, the Xanadu run coming up next can be upgraded to dagger percent, which I assume is a bit more of a challenge than the normal any percent.
Definitely.
But right now, that's I would assume so. So I had a hard enough time even with the regular weapons in that game. But we're at $20 now out of 100, so that means we need another $80 before the end of this run if we're going to make that goal. So if you want to see our boy Shiner here take on that game with just the dagger, you gotta shell out another 80 before the end of this run. Anyway, back to the run. Good luck.
Thank you, Feasel. Alright, so to open corridor 8, you just press A when you don't have a secondary weapon equipped. This is one of the tougher corridors, though. However, I did just get my level 3 Cutter Saber, which is a pretty incredible weapon. I'm sure you noticed the shot count on the bottom right of the HUD there, like how many times I could fire it is much lower. The chip cost is very high, but it's worth it because I think the damage value is like my attack rating times 8. And it also gains the ability to interact with pretty much any kind of projectile. Like even these little bubble bullets that these blue fighters are shooting at me, my rank 3 Cutter Sabers can destroy those as well, so I pretty much have nothing to be afraid of anymore. Just so long as I can fly well and use my cutter sabers. A lot of runners will just like take out their enemy erasers and just use that as like their main weapon system for Corridor 8, but I don't need to do that. Okay, and I got a good chip count as well, so this boss fight is gonna be tough. And we're gonna not use the pea shooter because it's not gonna hit anything and it's just gonna increase slowdown. Oh, I got my 500k level up a bit early there. Top up my chip count though. But yeah, because the chip count on this weapon is so high, I might run out and have to take out my enemy erasers to force some power-ups to drop so I can refill my chips. If I have to do that, I'll give the old seizure warning. Because it's rapid white flashing that'll do the trick. Okay, here we go. Here's the actual fight. Oh, I missed the red chip though. Is this another red chip? Nope. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, there's the double heart. Yeah, we're there. Get ready for seizure warning. There we go. I just need some chips here. Hey, yeah, we gotta keep that hole covered up. There we go. Because you get a lot of slowdown. Chip cost. I'm sitting a bit perpendicular to my webcam, which I use to pick up room audio. So the plosive didn't get emitted at my webcam directly, so maybe that's why it wasn't detected. And once again, I have to walk all the way to the north side of the map from the south side. But we only have 2 corridors left before taking on the final one. So there's a fork in the road coming up here. If you go left, you get a blue lander, but we're gonna go take the top road to get a defense upgrade instead. Much more worthwhile. Oh yeah, and I want to get this red lander. The way to open Corridor 9 is really easy. You just stand on the gate. Dang, sorry, Calibi. This is why you want to stay awake in typing class in school, so you can type without being able to see your keyboard. I probably activated someone's trap card by doing that too. So once again, new colored area means we have a really big difficulty spike. But again, having rank 3 Cutter Saber means we have no need to be scared. I'm gonna have to give right, that sound, that There's another enemy that makes that sound, and that's those blue pomegranate blasters, these things. I'm gonna have to give seizure warning again. I'm just gonna use my enemy erasers to deal with these.
Oh, we have a donation with a comment directed directly to you here. Oh, we have a $30 donation from Invarial saying, "Hey Shiner, how much for tilt percent?" I guess that's the magic, T-I-L-T-E.
Yeah, tilt.
Tilt percent.
Well, I mean, I can't really put a price on that. I'm not sure how to measure the pace of our donations, but I would consider that part of. Oh, I would consider that part of 100%. my 100% time is just under an hour, so that would be putting our marathon even further behind schedule. I haven't really practiced it, but I'm willing to do it. 100%'s a bit boring. There's a lot of using Fazanadu's legendary shopping interface. Oh, I should have gone the other way on this route here for getting that blue lander I was talking about. Oh well. The problem is I took some damage right before the boss fight there, so my strat didn't work too well. How much for tilt percent? I'll say, how about for 420? It takes, I think, 35 seconds just to buy tilts. It costs 15,000 gold, and the gold drains away one gold for every frame. So you have to just sit there for about 35 seconds watching the gold get spent. It's like that one episode of Dexter's Lab where like the ice cream truck driver keeps trying to run away from Dexter because last time he bought his ice cream with a jar of pennies. Relating the tale of how he had to count the pennies. No ice cream for anyone while I count pennies. And then at the end of the episode, Dexter's like, no, it's fine, I'm not gonna pay with a jar of pennies this time. And then they come to a tacit, really timid agreement, and then Dexter says, got change for 100? I might run out of enemy erasers, I'm gonna do this. See, Cutter Sabers deal with everything. Oh wait, my health is a bit low again. Oh. Okay, please be something good. Okay, we'll have to make it work. Oh, there we go, we got that battery. Nice. Alright, we got the last key. Yeah, I don't think the epilepsy warnings were very common back in this era of gaming, but I remember reading the instruction manual on every GameCube game I bought, and it was always there on the first page. I mean, I remember back in the earlier times of the internet, there was this site that was just called seizurerobots.com, but it had like this flashing red and green background. And someone came and told me, wow, they even screwed that up. You need white and black flashing to induce epileptic seizures, apparently. I haven't seen the banned episode of Pokemon that has the Porygon, though. Not sure what colors they used for that. Oh, I went the wrong way there. Just kidding, I wanted to show off the wiggle. When you have the doubled move speed, you can slip between fences like that. I'll go the right way this time. Alright, so one impressive thing about this game technically is the very fast scrolling speed. Well, it's gonna get even faster in Corridor 10. Everyone should buckle up for ludicrous speed. So the tip for this one is just keep firing. I think firing north sounds a little bit less annoying. Oh, red and blue works too. Today I learned. I love gathering lore. Like, hey, no, Lightspeed is too slow. This is only Lightspeed. The other reason why fast scrolling makes it hard is because, well, it makes it really hard to grab power-ups. Alright, here we go. Ludicrous speed! Go! The important thing is to not get hit. And it helps to leave a lot of enemies on screen because it makes those pomegranates explode less spectacularly. Look at that, that was easy. Yeah, the asteroids those are like the early game enemies. They don't do much damage at all. It's very okay to leave them alive. Sometimes in video games you want to smash into the thing that hurts you less. So that you can only be hit by one thing at a time in most games. Oh. You don't want to slam into those though, that really hurts. Okay. Shield's not so hot here, but we'll make it work. My brains are going into my feet! Luckily, Corridor 10 fight much easier than Corridor 9 IMO. In my opinion. Don't give me the heart, give me the... Uh-oh! I'm gonna throw out the seizure warning again. Okay, that should be enough. Oh, the battery. Oh, now my death warp is gonna take a long time. We can't stop! We have to slow down first! We did slow down, though. Hail President Scrooge. We're coming to invade Naju to steal their hair. Alright, we did it. We beat all 10 corridors. It's time for the final challenge. So when practicing this game last night, Corridor 21 is just a boss gauntlet, which is lovely because you get to see just how far we've come and how outrageously powerful we are. Fleetfoot dies in 2 seconds. I really like it. A lot of NES games do have like a flashback gallery like this. Like even Willow has it too. Oh wait, I actually shouldn't be taking damage from this thing on purpose. So I need to use my shields like a resource for this next fight. So this is a boss we didn't fight in any percent. Oh, this one too. Sorry, I skipped ahead one. I kind of needed that, that heart. Yeah, red chip, red chip. Oh, there we go. Oh no, it's 3 red chips. So my cutter sabers can actually destroy these red vines, but as you can see, I'm not really a fan of where my shields are at. Okay, whew, clutched it out. Yeah, you have to get just the right Y-axis, like just the right Y position in order to actually destroy the red vines. I kept dying on that thing on my practice runs last night. But this Grim Grin is really similar to the red one. It's just that there's going to be asteroids harassing me the whole time. And the final phase is longer than the first part. That's annoying. There's going to be a lot of slowdown. Oh, oops. I also just noticed a lot of shields missing. It's a little tougher to wrangle Corridor 21 from a fresh power-up. Like from... Because I find I get the red chips right before the red Optomon. Yeah, this game's hard. If I'd remember to grab that blue lander on the way to Corridor 9, like when I was doing it for the second time, that might have helped, having one more point of shield. The interesting thing about like the shield mechanic is when you get hit by something, the game stops calculating damage until your shield finishes draining for the amount you took. Like, for example, remember how in Corridor 3 I got hit by that blue vine and took 5 shields worth of damage? Well, if I get hit by other things while my shield is draining away, I don't think the game adds up all the damage. Like, you're basically invincible until your health stops draining. Oh, my 1 million refill. Got that way too early, too. Could have had that during Blue Grim Grin, but nope. Okay, well, we'll just try to stay healthy. Oh, go ahead, Feasel.
Oh, dagger percent is almost there. It's 60 out of 100, so we just need 40 more bucks to make it.
Nice.
Thanks to a $10 donation from Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous. That's a huge side deck. "31 inches, that's like about 80 centimeters or so? It's times 2.5. No, it's more like 76, I think. That is... Someone pull up the Pokédex. Is that larger than a life-size Psyduck? Larger than a real Psyduck? It's probably heavier, too. I should have grabbed that red chip. Alright, I'll try to keep it together here for Red Optomon. I like destroying the walls, or the laser beak. They give a lot of points. Okay. Oh, I died again! I wasn't looking at my shield. I was trying so hard to, like, just maintain good movement. Wish I could just give the controller to Tishiro right now. It's probably so obvious to anyone running this game, like, Shiner, you're doing the fight wrong, you're on the wrong Y pixel. Okay. Oh, I had full shields too. Maybe I should just... I could go even higher and make the vines fire backwards. Probably be less in my way that way. Maybe that's the way I'm supposed to do it. Well, normally it isn't though. I mean, that's... I don't see people doing it that way, but you could. I swear I'm not trying to stall for time to get dagger percent met. Any percent would be much easier for me to run. But I was practicing dagger percent. I am also ready to show that off. Okay. Let's try it. Oh yeah, that's working way better. Easy. Alright. there's the new strat. Or the marathon strat. The strat of strats. I mean, the main thing is I didn't think I would lose to Blue Grin. I guess my power-up sequence was not in a good spot. Probably should have grabbed that power-up and dropped right there. You see my shields are getting pretty low. Ow. Down to... I'm just gonna take out the enemy erasers again and stand by for seizure warning. Okay. I got the battery, so now we're good. Yeah, I also can't take damage while my health is filling up. I'm gonna get one more silly boss that also didn't get fought in any percent. Boss of Corridor 19, I believe. Yet another example of far too many NES-era gaming bosses of, you can only damage this enemy for a few seconds, and then it's invincible or teleporting away. Not a very interactive or interesting game experience, but... I mean, stuff like this had to be iterated and attempted throughout gaming history. This is the early period we're witnessing. Alright, we did it. One more boss. We're gonna skip the long cutscene. Shiner just doesn't want to play Fazanity. Oh wow, it is a life-size Psyduck. Nice. Well, there is one other thing. I'm not gonna linger on the credits for too long, because I'll hit reset and do Corridor 0 again, because I started early and nobody got to see Corridor 0. Alright, and once again, we're not gonna fire our pea shooter because it wouldn't hit anything, and look at all the sprite flicker we have already. Don't need that. Need to be able to see these bubbles come out of nowhere. Need to be able to destroy them or juke them. Ow. Oh, I needed that. Oh, I'm out of chips. Alright, just gonna build up some stuff. I didn't even call it out. Sorry. Okay, we have chips again. We're good. There's another red lander I could have got before Corridor 8, but I skipped it to save time. We're almost done. Time's gonna be when I fly off screen. Nice. Alright, we went way over estimate. Lots of deaths. You wouldn't think I'm third place on the leaderboard, but... well, we got there. And yeah, we got a nice picture of what the Guardian actually looks like. You are the greatest player. Before we move on to the do, though, I just want to do Corridor 0 again. It'll only take 2 minutes. I'm not going to reset the timer. So you can control this game with controller too, so I picked up the other controller, so I can hit the B button on top and the B button on the bottom. And if I just wiggle my hand, I can get a nice spray going. And here's your fast scrolling. This is even faster than Corridor 10, I think. So I'm only shooting certain enemies because every enemy in this game increments your like power-up drop rate. You probably noticed how some enemies almost always drop power-ups and some never did throughout the run. And yeah, the asteroids don't add very much. These destructible bullets here don't add very much either, which look very similar to the slashy ones that you can see in Space Megaforce as well. Okay, so just imagine I did this at the beginning of the run, and that's what my entire speedrun looked like. And then we'll go on to Fazanadu. And then you spawn in the center room, and I went south instead of to the east to get the rapid fire power up. And yeah, that's the Guardian Legend in a slightly different order. I guess I'll move on to Fazanadu here.
Yep, looks like you're doing regular percent.
Alright, we almost got there. But any percent it is.